Hi, it's Sophie and Marco here.
Dishing out on movies.
Yeah. Anyway, we did a top 10 favorite school movies,
Best.
best school movies. And I put in as one Teen Wolf, which was the latest one, 1985, with Michael J. Fox. And I thought I had seen it before, but I didn't realize there was an earlier version, and that was in black and white, and that is the one I had seen, and only saw it once a long time ago. So
Well, this isn't a remake of that though.
and this, and Marco, who has seen this Teen Wolf with Michael J. Fox several times, says that this is not an exact remake of what I saw a long time ago. So I was mistaken and I apologize. So this is October and we are doing scary movies this month, horror movies or Halloween related movies, and also certain episodes that have appeared on TV that are related to Halloween. And right now, today, we are going to review Teen Wolf with Michael J. Fox. And when I did do the summary, I had looked up what it was about on the internet, and I thought, well, I just don't remember any of this. And so I don't want to go into a big summary like I did when I did the top 10, because you will be hearing that uh, soon when it gets uploaded on the internet. But I'll just talk a little bit about the show. Michael J. Fox is in high school and he is on the basketball team, and of course he's not as tall as a average basketball player, so he tries really hard, but he's not that great, and neither is anybody else on his team. They're terrible. And the coach, even in one of the scenes where they're playing a game, he just wants to forfeit and they just give up, and the other team doesn't want to do that because it will mess up the record. So that's how bad they are. And the coach is terrible. And well, Marco can talk more about the characters in detail if he wants, since he's seen it a lot more times. So it was a good movie. It was kind of a fun movie. It was funny. It wasn't a horror movie. It was really more of a teenage school type movie, which is why even when I looked at the summary on the internet, I thought, yeah, it is a school
But
movie.
still, you watch this. It's kind of like with Nightmare Before Christmas, where you could either see it as a Halloween movie or a Christmas movie. I feel like this movie can either be seen as a funny school comedy or a horror movie. Or just, I mean, not a horror movie, a Halloween movie, because it's not a horror movie at all.
Well, and two, we want to just emphasize that, you know, there are a lot of different movies that are horror or scary or Halloween related. They don't all have to be slasher, thriller, killer, uh, people chopped up into body parts everywhere, and it can also be just fun and funny.
It can also just be people's tuxedos getting torn up. Because those are the victims of this movie.
I just do want to say a little bit about what the movie's about. It's this boy, he's in high school, and he doesn't know he's a werewolf. His father has never told him. There's no mother, and either I missed it or
No mother.
there's no mother, and they just don't say it, address it. But he's in high school, and which I've said a million times already, but he begins to have changes or feelings that he's never had before, and like when he gets mad and he looks at his skin and he grows all this instantaneous hair, and then he finds chunks of hair, like on the ground or in his clothes, like what the heck was this? And then he starts looking at his face, and it looks like it's changing, but then
And
it stops.
then he becomes a werewolf.
And finally, he gets into this situation with his friend, what's her name?
Boof.
Boof. And
Based on a real person that was her. That's just so you know, the writer, or it was the writer or the director, and they had a friend in high school, and her name was Boof, and she was exactly like the character written in the script.
well, they're at this party and they do this dare and they have to go in the closet and they have to kiss. And of course, this werewolf, what do you want to call it, inner werewolf comes out and he scratches her on the back, but she doesn't seem to mind. I mean, he ripped her. They showed her walking out of the closet, and the back of her blouse or her dress was like, it was like somebody had these giant claws and they went rip, and there was like, I mean, the whole back of the shirt was ripped in like 4 slashes.
I like how they kept the suspense of like what happened. It seemed like he was just getting rough with her, but then you look at her from the back and it's the giant tear marks.
Yeah, and so she, he talks to his coach, but his coach wants to talk to him, but he's such a dimwit. He won't talk to him. He finally talks to his dad, and his dad tells him that he is a werewolf, and he didn't think that he would be one because he said it sometimes it skips a generation, so he's hoping that it would skip his. And the way he told it, he appeared to his son as a werewolf, while his son had totally changed, and he was a werewolf too. So then it goes from then on, and his life changes, and I thought it was very interesting. The kids in the school and his friends were very accepting of his. I mean, he would just change, and they liked it, and they he they treated him really nicely. They didn't. There was only one guy, but he was jealous of him because he was flirting with his girlfriend. But other than that,
No, the vice principal.
and the vice principal.
Which I thought it was really strange. I always presumed that this guy was the principal.
That's what I
Because
thought too.
he's walking around everywhere. He's going into the boys' bathroom for some reason. I don't want to know. And he's and he's always like hovering about. You find out he's the vice principal, not even the principal. I mean, it's just, where's the real principal? Why didn't he get involved? I mean, the vice principal doesn't have authority over the principal, so I don't understand why that was the case.
Well, considering how you just graduated from high school in May, and we have talked about some of the things that happened during your time at school, there are always some kind of weird thing happening that was inexplicable and stupid. So, and even when I went to school a million years ago, there's always something in high school or junior high especially that happens with the teacher or the principal that's weird. So,
I would have actually, I'd like to just pitch, you could just add one scene, and it would be really funny. Okay, so Scott gets called out of the classroom on the intercom, and he has to go to the principal's office. This is after he's already shown that he's a werewolf and he's become really popular. Not really like in those other movies, though. It doesn't follow that kind of formula very much. And, okay, so he goes to the principal's office. He's really like, what's going on here? And he's still a werewolf. And he goes into the office and, uh, and everybody's like, "Hey, how you doing?" And then the principal talks to him because it'd be kind of cool to have the principal talk to him about, okay, you're a werewolf, you need to cut it out, or excuse me, or he could say that he doesn't care and that he should be a werewolf all the time, and he's really happy that he's a student here or something like that. I just would have liked to have seen an actual principal, because why is the principal is he like hiding in his office like Osama bin Laden was hiding in a cave or something?
I don't know. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, I think it should be. We should at least say that his werewolf didn't it come out when he was playing basketball, and then they just started winning, and I
Yeah.
mean he was a really good as a werewolf. He's a really good like super athlete, like better than normal because he could run, he could jump, he could do
Dunk.
a dunk. He could slam dunk a ball. I mean, he's this guy's short, but he could slam dunk a ball, and he could do all. So anyway, he's helping the team win, and so instead of losing all the time, they're winning. So as they won more game, he got more fans, more popular, and so that's how. It wasn't the fact that he was walking down the hall and he had turned into a werewolf, and everybody go, "Oh wow, that's great." No, it had started with the basketball.
But at the same time, it and you can reiterate this. It's not like those other high school movies like Can't Buy Me Love, which was the first one to do it, and all these other ones like Easy A, ugh, Mean Girls, and where the person they become so popular, they forget themselves, of course, and then there's some big reveal and everybody hates the main character. There's a sad montage,
No, there wasn't that
and
at
they
all.
make up for it.
No,
It's not like that at all.
no, it's not like that at all. It's actually
Even though it could have been.
it could have been very easily, but he did get he did go crazy, but he saw for himself that it wasn't he didn't hurt anybody. He didn't come out and slash somebody and then 10 people died or something. Nothing
It
like
was
that
just.
happened at all. It was really a self revelation
It's something
and
that was
awareness.
bound to happen. Is he's been putting up with all this crap, and he gets suddenly he starts getting things that he wants, and then after that he starts losing all that stuff again, and he can't even. I mean, he comes out into the dance wanting to dance with the girl that he likes, the one that he's been friend zoning for this other bitch, and he's just trying to enjoy the dance, and this guy comes over and starts beating the living crap out of him, and so I mean I understood why he got up and ripped open his tux because he deserved it.
Well, he's saying that he was a normal, and then the guy picked on him in a really bad way, and he bullied him basically, and he got angry, and then he changed into a werewolf, and he because does have super strength and ability, and like athletic ability and just abilities that he wouldn't have had as a normal person. He ripped open his tux, and everybody got all upset, and then he ran out of there, and I guess he just realized that, well, I don't want to say anything else, but it's kind of he becomes self-aware, and sometimes he's a werewolf and sometimes he isn't, but it's all it's more balanced.
The one thing that I think is also it's a standout thing. I don't think the principal thing stands out very much. I just think, personally, I would have liked to have seen, you know, fill in the continuity errors with the principal. But anyway, that bully said that he's been uh he's been arrested before, he's been in jail before, and it was brought up online on IMDb that if he had done this to him in real life, or punched him right in the middle of the dance floor, he would have gone to prison. And I hated how that vice principal, makes that big smile. He doesn't care at all that this little teenager, I mean, he's tiny. He just got punched to the ground for no reason other than that guy's a hothead. So
Well, anyway, this movie's very fun and it's funny. There are a lot of jokes, and there's very good characters in here. It was very well cast, and it's just a fun movie to watch. And you can sandwich this kind of movie in between these gory, slasher, serious, dramatic, scary horror movies, and then you put this kind of light and funny. And it's nice to see Michael J. Fox,
His best performance.
one of, and just that he's not encumbered or that he has this horrible Parkinson's disease that he has now, and they say he's not doing well. So it's just nice to see him very healthy and just young and just enjoying his life and being having fun and doing a really good job at acting in this movie. But Marco did find out several things about. Maybe you want to share a couple about making of the movie.
Yeah, I just
You
wanted to
looked
look it up. This is a movie. I mean, you could get up every day and watch this movie. I don't care what type of person you are. You get up, you watch this movie, you move on. I mean, it's a great movie. You can watch it every day of the year and would never get tired of it because it's so funny and uh, adventurous and deep and layered. I mean, having being a werewolf as a metaphor for puberty is a very creative idea. And the director, I mean, when I was looking at the trivia, it seems like the director really cared about this movie, and I think that's the reason why it works. And I mean, he took so much, he he did so much. He went to these teenagers and he asked them in detail how they like to party, and he took all that stuff and put it in the movie and make it more realistic. I love that, having the real types of things that teenagers would do, like putting a whole bowl of Jello down a girl's shirt and then having a guy eat it out of the shirt. It's really 80s. There's a lot of good 80s music. You know, you have the car surfing. I mean, it's so enjoyable. And the ending basketball scene is just fun. It's just phenomenal to watch, and it's a better action scene than the last fight in Rocky. And well,
Wow.
it's debatable, but in my opinion, it's a lot more. I mean, they have more room to move around, obviously, so that's probably why I think it's better. You know, they're running all over each other, and it's funny and it's action packed, and so I'd like to actually pitch a crossover to this movie. I was talking about this earlier. So just imagine this: Teen Wolf with Michael J. Scott, which number one, he should have done the sequel, and he should have done another sequel too, because these movies are infinitely times better than Back to the Future. And then, not the second one, the way it is, the way they ruined it, but what it could have been. So picture Teen Wolf meets Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the movie version.
Hmm.
Boom.
I
Boom.
don't know.
Both of them are movies about teenagers suddenly having to adapt to big change. Both of them have teenagers that are witty and struggle with a lot of things like popularity. I mean, I remember Buffy was kind of the new girl in the movie. I've only seen it like once or twice, and you know, obviously in this movie he's not very popular except for with the one girl. So what do you think of that? Does that sound good?
Yeah, it'd be really good. Of course, it might be dependent on the characters because you have to have good casting.
Yeah.
Casting is key, and so is a good story. When you have both of those, then you should have a good movie. So should we tell? Are we done now?
Well,
We have
we
to
should
rate it, I guess. Oh boy.
on a scale of food.
Hmm. Well, I think what I said before was what did I say? Chocolate? Was it chocolate pie?
No,
Was it?
I don't remember what you said.
Well, just since I really saw the movie now, instead of what I thought I had seen, I just give it a pizza with everything on it because it has a little bit of everything and it's fun to eat on a Friday night or Saturday night and it's a good movie with a beginning, a middle, and an end uh, and Michael J. Fox. It's nice to see him happy and young and healthy. How about you?
I would give this movie. It's hard to say. I'm debating it right now in my head, so I'm just gonna stall and talk a little bit more about, why did he like that popular girl? I mean, she was so the way she acted. I mean, you have a lot of these popular girls like in Can't Buy Me Love, and at least they actually have personality. But this one, I mean, she just hovers around.
She was a piece of cardboard.
She was a leech. She would latch on to whomever she was the most popular, and she had no personality, and so I have no idea why he liked her. But I love all the characters in this movie. There was not one character that I would say is badly written. Okay, now finally I'm gonna rate it. I would give this movie my favorite meal of all time: spaghetti.
Oh wow!
Homemade spaghetti with Irish butter, not effing margarine or gross normal butter. Irish butter, and yeah, because I could watch it or eat it every day, and you just have a bunch of different things. It's spaghetti. It's warm. It's fulfilling. It's heavy. And I was gonna give this movie beef and noodles, but I have to give it spaghetti. That was a big, yeah. I have to give it spaghetti. Sorry
Oh well.
about your
And
pizza.
guess what? I'm the one who makes the spaghetti.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, I think. Do you want to tell people what we're going to be reviewing this week?
Maybe just keep it a mystery.
Okay. Well, we have a lot more movies to watch and one TV show.
4 a week.
And guess what the end of this week is, on Friday at least?
Friday the 13th.
Yeah, so that might give you a clue as to what we might be reviewing and talking about.
The Leprechaun. The
I've
Goonies.
I've never seen The Leprechaun, but I have seen The Goonies.
Adventures in Babysitting.
I've seen that.
What are we gonna review? It's Friday the 13th. What could we? Night of the Living Dead?
How about Friday the 13th?
Whoa! Really?
1 and 2.
Yeah.
But that's not the only thing, but I just will keep it a big surprise. We have a lot of work to do, so...
We have to watch one of them now.
Okay, so we're signing off, but you want to say anything, Marco? You need to say anything about what we tell everybody?
What are you looking at, dick nose?